I'm going to get these in first. It's the final 2 matches of the regular season, and we're hanging on for dear life to a playoff position. Hello and welcome to part 15 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and it's all going wrong. We've got our final 2 games of the season. They're both away. We're playing York, who are playoff rivals, and Chorley, who are playoff rivals. They're both above us in the league. We need to beat at least one of them to secure a playoff spot. Those few games since you were last with me, we lost the first 2 of them. We did manage to beat Lollujo, which has just about kept us in it, but we are hanging on by the skin of our teeth. It might end up being our goal difference that saves us. We're on 65 points, Chorley on 68. So if we win both of these games, we could still finish third, which would be spectacular. Beating York and Chorley would be amazing. However, if everything goes to form and Chorley and York both win their matches, there's every chance that Southport or Blythe Spartans are going to come past us over the course of these 2 games, and we'll miss out on the playoffs on the last day of the season for the 2nd season in a row. And I just don't know what I'll do. So, this is going to be the team that we're putting out there for the first of today's 2 games. Ercolani still at the club, still wanted by Udinese, but they haven't come in with an offer yet. I assume that's going to be their big summer transfer. We've got Linus in goal, a back 3 of Clark, Ercolani and Jones, with Waters and Trotman as our fullbacks, Wheatley and George in midfield, with Nicholson in behind Yorson and Chambers. Elliot Rocker is almost fit again. If we do manage to get into the playoffs, we should have Rocker back for that. He might even be able to play in the Chorley game on the last day of the season, but we have really missed him. Not having Elliot Rocker in the side, we miss out on all that tireless running that he provides us up front. And as much as Yorson is a creative player who does set up chances for Chambers and Nicholson, without someone up there just running and closing people down, we just don't look like the same team. On the positive spin of things, if we do win today, we could secure ourselves a playoff spot. So we might be slightly less negative in about 5 minutes' time. But I don't know how the fixtures have managed to fall so that we're away for both of our last 2 games, and we're away against 2 teams that are better than us. We're 6th in the league. There aren't many teams in this division who are better than us, but just when we need wins, they've managed to find 2 of them, give us them back-to-back, and make us away from home for both of them. So if we manage to make it into the playoffs this season, we're absolutely going to be doing it the hard way. And, oh goodness me, do I hate doing things the hard way. They don't call me Backdoor Kev for nothing. And York are all over us in these opening minutes of the game, and any second, I was convinced they were going to do that thing that Football Manager likes to do to me, where just as I finished my sentence, the thing I was worried was going to happen happens. But we got away with it a little bit there. Trotman, massively out of position, does manage to get back across to cover. But again, York are just swarming all over us. It's like they've got 2 or 3 extra players. I just don't understand how we're not able to get the ball. And we're down to 7th. 7th is still a playoff position. Remember, the ideal scenario that we have been talking about for a little while would be finish 2nd or 3rd, because then you miss out on the first round of the playoffs. Oh, Dean, what did you do there? I'm now no longer worrying about ideal scenarios. I'm worrying about 2 things. 1, that plane going over above me, which might make it hard for you to hear me. And 2, I'm worrying about just getting into the playoffs, because, forget fanciness. I mean, I don't care if we're in the first round or the semi-final or whatever else we're in. I just want to get into the playoffs at this point. By hook or by crook, we need to get into these playoffs. And then on our day, we can beat any team in this division. I still think we probably have the best squad of players in this league. And it might be time for us to pull out a 4-3-1-2 next season and prove it, regardless of what division we're in. I think we're reaching that point. We've built a squad that's capable of doing it. But at the moment, we're continuing with this 3 at the back, wing backs nonsense. Because, it has worked to a point. But if we miss out on the playoffs again with this squad of players, there has to come a point where we accept, actually, you know what, this isn't working. We should be running away with this league. Okay, Kidderminster in it. Perhaps we shouldn't be running away with it, but we should be up there challenging Kidderminster. We've got 3 times the wage budget of most teams in this division. We've got players that are too good for this league, and we're losing against York. Do we even do the 4-3-1-2 for the second half? Have we got a central midfielder on the bench? Salmons is sat there on the bench. I think I might even do it. I might take off one of the back four. We can't take off Ercolani because Udinese might be watching. But I think I'm good. I think I'm just going to go for it. We've persisted for 2 years. Now it's time for the 4-3-1-2. So anyone who had episode 15 as the day that we went for this, you win a prize. We'll take off Kenny Clark. He can go up into the midfield there. These two can drop back. Obviously, I know this formation off by heart. Well, actually, we'll have you on automatic. Always automatic. Because it upsets people when I do automatic. And I don't really know why. Right, you can be centre-back, defend. Centre-back, defend. You're going to be there on defend. You're going to be box-to-box. You're going to be an advanced playmaker. Would you rather be this way around? Does that work better for you? No one wants to be a box-to-box midfielder. Can you do it? This might be why we don't use one at the moment. We'll do it that way round. And then you're going to be, none of this playmaker nonsense, you're just going to be a midfielder. And then we'll keep the front two like that. We're not going to try a complete forward at this level. That's probably asking for trouble. And then we'll have a bit of look for overlap. We're going to up the tempo. We're going to close down a lot. And we're going to exploit the middle of the pitch. We're going to go out there for this second half. And fingers crossed, we're going to get back into this game. If this works, then we know the 4-3-1-2 really does work again this year. We did it in the 24-hour charity stream with Stoke, and it worked. We've done it a little bit with Lollujo FC in the streams that we're doing with Lollujo FC, and it's working there as well. We have tried it a couple of times in both this and non-league to legend, though, and it hasn't worked. But Yorson gets a goal back, runs away doing a chicken dance. We're back in this, everybody. We've stuck an extra midfielder in. Oh, I would love a world where the 4-3-1-2 works. It would just make me happy that everything is right with the world again. Yorson's now picked up a knock, which is a bit of a problem because Chambers isn't playing well. But if Yorson's got a knock, we're probably going to have to take him off. And we still don't have Elliot Rocker fit. What's actually wrong with him? What's the injury? What do we do? Do we really have to go through to the next screen to find out what's wrong with him? That stupid screen. Right, Yorson has a potential foot injury. We're going to have to take him off, aren't we? And then we're also going to take off Wheatley and bring on Tom Elliott, who can he do box to box? I've got a feeling he can. He can. There you go. Right. 20 minutes to grab an equaliser. Luckily, it seems that things behind us are going our way. Both Southport and Blythe don't seem to be winning, which is good. Chambers! Oh, that goal. That goal could have been so important. It's saved. We have a corner. Can we grab an equaliser? Right at the... Well, it's not right at the death. There's still 15 minutes left. But an equaliser now would be absolutely smashing. But it seems that York have the ball again, which is less smashing. We're really struggling for possession today. I'm not that bothered. Possession is the least of our worries. We need goals. And York are in behind. And have we just given away a penalty? I think we've... Oh, no. This is a disaster. The league table's still looking okay, but we do need to keep an eye on what Southport are up to. Come on, Linus. Make up for the fact that you let that goal in the first half. He doesn't. It's going to be all on this last day of the season. We're going to play Chorley. Knowing that, I mean, to be honest, if the league table stays as it is, we're going to go to Chorley knowing we just need a draw. Because a draw... Actually, will a draw? Yeah, a draw because of our goal difference. But we don't want to go there and draw. We want to go there and win. I mean, if they score again here, the 4-3-1-2 might not be working after all. Should we go back? I don't know what to do now for the final game of the season. The 3-5-2 hasn't been working recently. We've started losing games. Oh, I don't know what to do. I've got myself in a pickle. I'm second-guessing myself. I hate second-guessing myself. We just need Southport to do the job for us and just be even worse than we are, and then we'll worry about winning one-off matches in the playoffs. I mean, to be honest, in the playoffs, 4-3-1-2, if we get that far, it will win one-off matches. But is it the right thing to do on a must-win last day of the season game to try and get into the playoffs, to avoid last day of the season heartbreak again? I mean, okay, we have to lose quite spectacularly. We're going to do the 4-3-1-2. Good old Southport doing us a proper favour there. I think we're just about secured in the playoffs. I love a vote of confidence just before we go into the last game of the season. Fingers crossed the playoffs. The board are going to offer me a new deal. They're still only expecting mid-table. We need better than mid-table, but let's have a look at what they're offering me. So at the moment, I'm earning £750 a week. I want more than another 1-year contract, but they're not willing to offer me one. Let's ask for a bit more money then. Promotion, wage rise, just money then. Let's try and weasel some more money out of them. I got an extra £25 a week, everybody. Yay! And we've signed on for one more season. Huzzah! Right, now let's go and get promoted. See, I know there's going to be groans from certain elements down in the comments that we've gone back to the old faithful, but genuinely, look at that team and tell me it doesn't look a little bit special. We're going for the 4-3-1-2. We've got so many good central midfielders, it seems mad not to. We can afford to drop a defender and pack that midfield a little bit more. I just think that looks a little bit special. So Linus in goal, a back four of Waters, Ercolani, Clark and Trotman, Salmons, Wheatley and George make a midfield that is too good for this league. And then Nicholson, a returning Elliot Rocker and Ashley Chambers are a front three that's too good for this league. Ercolani's a Serie A player in the making. There are maybe the fullbacks. Maybe the fullbacks are the only element of that team that isn't too good for the National League North. We just need to go and show Chorley that we're too good for this league. And there you go, we're resting Tom Elliott. Yes, my players can adapt to any situation. These two lads are sticking around. We can't afford to let them go. But this is really a bit of a trial because we're pretty much already in the playoffs. But, unless we lose 6-0 and Southport win 5-0, we're getting into the playoffs because of our goal difference. But this is really a tryout of the 4-3-1-2 against the kind of team we're going to face in the playoffs. Is it a realistic option? Is it going to work? Ercolani scores after 6 minutes. Don't remember him scoring before. There you go. It is his first Nuneaton goal. If the scouts are in, they've just seen him score a goal. Excellent stuff. But this is all about planning for the playoffs at this point. Are we going to go into the playoffs with the 5-3-2? Are we going to go in with the 4-3-1-2? Are we going to take both formations, armed with them both maybe? Potentially, and I know it goes against everything I stand for, but we could use this in the home games and maybe a 5-3-2 counter-attacking in the away legs, especially if we can be at home first, get some big wins on the board and then just go and defend for the second legs. It'd be nice to have a few options. Chambers forcing a save out their keeper and Elliot Rocker was right in there to follow. That's why I love him so much. He's just constantly running and pestering opposition defenders and goalkeepers. He makes such a difference to how this team plays. There aren't many men I'll tweak the 4-3-1-2 for, but Elliot Rocker will be a defensive forward forevermore because he's just so very good at it. Right. George to Salmons. We should, in theory, be able to keep possession in the middle a little bit better with this lineup. Trotman lumps it up to Chambers. Forget about possession. Possession is for nerds. We're going to lump the ball up to Ashley Chambers and he's going to score. And that's exactly what's just happened. Everyone else is so far ahead of us. We're not actually moving up the league with this, hopefully, win. But at least we are securing the playoff spot. 8 minutes in, 2-0 up. The 4-3-1-2 appears to be working so far. Remember, we have had some big wins and some good days with the 5-3-2 as well. They are fairly similar systems. It's just whether we want the extra man in the midfield or the extra man in the defence. And I guess if I want to properly earn my salt as a manager, maybe I do have to make the decision on a game-by-game basis where we want the extra man to appear. Maybe sometimes I'll feel especially fruity and I'll have the extra man up front and we'll do a 4-2-1-3. I like it. But that probably would be just for special occasions only, and we'd need a third really good striker for that to be worth doing as well. Right, let's grab a third before half-time. I guess if we are going to go down this route next season, we probably need to go out and get some proper fullbacks because we kind of got rid of all our fullbacks and just decided, right, we're going to have players who are wing-backs. And like Tom Elliott has played most of the season as our right wing-back, and really he's a midfield player. So I think probably a couple of proper fullbacks in the summer, regardless of what league we're in. And I don't know, I think we might be set. I don't think there's many areas. A third option as a striker would be good. A backup keeper would be good. But I don't think there's masses of upheaval needed. If we can keep this squad in place, and that contract we've just signed confirmed that the wage budget's still going to be big next season, then I don't know. We should have done better this year. We should have been pushing for automatic promotion this year. But I don't know. We'll see how things go when we get into these pesky playoffs. Right, Nicholson, ball over the top for Chambers. Surely scores, and it's a good save from the Chorley goalkeeper. I think Ashley Chambers has 32 goals this season now, which is flabbergasting, really, for a player who can be so frustratingly inconsistent. But as we've said in the comments a few times, if he wasn't, then he'd be playing in League One, because when he's in form, he scores so easily. And to get 31 goals when he's really inconsistent and only has a good game 1 in 3 games shows just how lethal he'd be if he was at his best all the time. Right, that was a poor pass. I don't really know who we were aiming for there, and it's allowed them to come over the top, and Linus makes a good save. Waters covers, and it was one of those iffy ones where he keeps the ball in play and you have to question whether he should have done. We got away with it a little bit because the highlight ended. Right, Rocker to Chambers. We're a little bit isolated at the moment, but Trotman's got up to support on that right-hand side, and now it's from Nicholson to Salmons, who loses out on the ball. And this is where we should have more midfield players around to come in and cover, but it doesn't quite seem to be working that way yet. It's almost as if we're still learning to play this slight amendment to the system we've been using for a year and a half. But I think we'll get there. Right, Rocker picks the ball up again. Back to Wheatley. And now George, in a nice attacking position, finds Nicholson. And Rocker's in. And Elliot Rocker scores. And that should be that. Rocker is back. If we can go into the playoffs with both Rocker and Chambers scoring goals, then the playoffs are going to be a delightfully fun time. Because this Nuneaton side on form scoring goals will beat anyone in this division, with the possible exception of Kidderminster. And obviously, we don't have to worry about them in the playoffs because they're already promoted. If you look at the points difference, despite the fact we've been, as a team, as inconsistent as Ashley Chambers, but we're only 7 points off of second place Spennymoor. We really can beat any of those teams on a one-off game, and hopefully over 2 legs as well. I'm feeling confident going into the playoffs. Everyone's going to expect us to get beaten because we're in 7th place and we're terrible at the back. But I have a feeling I think we'll be all right as long as we actually make it there. I'm talking as if we're definitely there. I hope we are. I hope I haven't messed up my very simple maths that I've done to work out that as long as we don't get thrashed, goal difference takes there. This is where we find out it's nothing to do with goal difference. It's to do with head-to-head matches, and we've lost 4 times to Chester in 2 matches. And if they draw level with us on points, then we don't get into the playoffs, and then we're all very sad. But hopefully nothing like that's going to happen. Right, let's make a few tweaks and changes. We've only got centre-backs and strikers on the bench. Although that being said, we have got Joey Jones, who's a defensive midfield player. So maybe as a potential third option, we could try a diamond. Why not try a diamond? Let's be really creative with all this. We're going to bring Orson on for Rocker because Rocker is tired. And then Niall Heaton can come on at right back and we'll play a proper right back rather than a wing back. There you go. Kev makes tactical changes. I don't know why I've got into this habit of making 3 substitutes altogether. It's probably a habit I need to get out of because we do keep getting caught out with these injuries that occur in the last 20 minutes of games. But we've done it now. There's not a lot I can do about it. And they're in behind. Felt a little bit offsidey. The linesman, his flag did go up eventually. I don't know if he was signalling for the goal kick or for the offside. But either way, it doesn't matter. And I'm crossed my fingers so many times. I'm worried I'm going to snap them. Are they getting a player sent off here? Cool, there you go. Straight off, straight red. It was a vicious tackle on George, and George hopefully is not injured, but his condition seems to be rather low. But against 10 men, this is where this system really should start to tear teams apart. That was a nice little through ball that none of those strikers were alive to. I don't know if they were all offside and deliberately not chasing, but that just seemed a little bit weird. We could have been 4-2 up there. And then really going into the playoffs in buoyant form, buoyant moods. We want buoyancy. That's a good challenge from I don't even know who. Jordan Nicholson, was it maybe all the way back there? And this game seems to be... There's something more coming out of this. We're getting one of these, or a bunch of these weird long highlights again, as if the game has something planned and it hasn't really decided what it is yet. Because we're getting a lot of weird stuff like that. Whether it's just trying to build tension, because it's the last day of the season and it hasn't realised that I've already run the numbers and know that we're probably going to be in the playoffs. So it might just be doing that whole cup final, let's build tension deal. But either way, I guess we need to start thinking in terms of who we're going to get in the playoffs. Presumably 7th place. Oh, Yorson's in, and there's number 4. I think 7th place plays 4th place in this first round. So I think it's going to be York, who obviously we just played, and they thrashed us. So, I mean, it would have been nice to get Chorley, who we've just shown we can thrash. But York might not be expecting us to do the 4-3-1-2 that we switched to halfway through the match, and they scored 2 goals against. But Chorley are now right down with us. So I think it's us against York. And then the winner of that presumably goes against Tamworth. Is that how it works? And then Harrogate and Chorley, winner of that goes against Spennymoor. I think that's how it works. But I guess we'll find out now, because we don't get a lot of break before the matches, do we? Let's see the draw. I think we're in. So Nuneaton secure playoff place. Hurrah! So do we get to find out who we're playing? Matt, is that the Matt Jansen? What do you know it is? Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, we did play well. It was lovely. Oh, come on, I just want to get the draw. Yeah, Elliot Rock is super. Ashley Chambers is super. Matty Waters is super. Jordan Nicholson is super. There you go. Press conferences, Kev style. Let's rest the players, because we've got a game coming up in a couple of days. We just don't know who it's against yet. I think it's going to be York, but we'll wait for the draw. Nuneaton to play York. Okay. And then, yeah, and then the winner of us plays Spennymoor. Okay. Well, I guess that's what we're going to be back with on Tuesday night. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager content. And thank you very much for watching.